What if I told you that even the strongest hearts in tennis sometimes have to break before they rise again? That a single match, a few missed points, could shape the mindset of a future champion. This is the story of Alexandra Eala, a warrior who refuses to back down even when the scoreboard says otherwise. So grab your seat, because today we dive deep into her battle at the Guangzhou Open and what it really means for her journey ahead. Under the heavy skies of Guangzhou, Alexandra Eala stepped onto the court with that familiar fire, a blend of calm focus and quiet defiance. The crowd saw the confidence, the poise, the determination of a young woman who had tasted victory before and wanted more. From the very first ball, she was in control. Every forehand found its mark. Every backhand echoed her intent. The first set, dominance. 6-2, it felt like a message to the world. Eala had arrived, ready to conquer. But tennis, like life, loves its plot twists. In the second set, Eala surged to a 4-2 lead. So close to sealing the match that the finish line almost shimmered in her eyes. Yet, somewhere between the lines, momentum began to slip. Claire Liu, an unseeded but fearless American, found her rhythm, clawing back with every rally. What seemed like a sure sweep transformed into a storm of errors, pressure, and frustration. Suddenly, the match was even. The scoreboard read 6-2, 4-2, 6, and the decider loomed. The third set was a battle of wills more than skill. AA once again jumped ahead 3-1, firing her signature down the line. Forehands that pierced through the humid Guangzhou air. The crowd roared. You could almost feel the victory returning to her hands. But Liu refused a break. She fought back point by point like a mirror, reflecting Eala's own intensity. The game leveled at 4-4. One could sense the tension. Two fighters, one dream, and zero room for hesitation. Then, in a twist worthy of a cinematic ending, Liu pulled away just as Eala's rhythm faltered. 64 match over. For the second straight week, the young Filipina star had fallen early. Another heartbreak, another headline. But was it truly a loss or just another lesson? Would you believe that behind those short-lived tournaments lies the making of something much bigger? Because champions aren't born in moments of glory. They're forged in the silence. After defeat, when the cameras turn away, and the mind starts asking what went wrong. Eala has faced 3 consecutive early exits now. The W100 Wuhan Open qualifiers, the Japan Women's Open first round, and now Guangzhou. But rewind just a little, and you'll remember her deep runs earlier in Latin America and China, performances that made fans whisper, "She's next." That spark hasn't gone anywhere. It's only being sharpened by every tough match she endures. Let's not forget she's still in the doubles draw, teaming up with the experienced Nadia Cachino. Eala now steps into another battlefield, and sometimes doubles. Competition becomes the place where lost confidence is reborn, where few well-timed vols and shared smiles rebuild the warrior's heart. Think about it. Every tennis great has faced their chapter of struggle. Serena, Djokovic, Nadal all endured stretches where nothing went right, but they kept going. Why? Because tennis doesn't just test your forehand, it tests your soul. What if I told you that this very defeat could be the chapter Eala looks back on someday? The one that changed her forever. The match where she learned that talent opens doors, but resilience keeps them open. So don't count her out. Not now, not ever. The girl who once made history at the juniors, who carries the pride of an entire nation on her shoulders, is still fighting quietly, fiercely, and with a story that's still being written. Can you believe how fine the line is between heartbreak and history? Sometimes it's just one set apart, and Alexandra Ayala, she's walking that line with her head held high. To everyone quick to bash Alex Ayala after loss, this message is for you, because what if I told you losing doesn't mean failing? What if I told you that every champion from Federer to Serena lost hundreds of matches before they ever held a trophy? So why do we, her own people, treat every defeat like the end of her story when it's only the beginning of something historic? Stay tuned, because this isn't just about tennis. It's about pride. It's about perspective. And it's about a 20-year-old Filipina rewriting what it means to dream big on the world stage. To those who are bashing Alex Ayala, stop for a moment, breathe, and look at the full picture. Because what we're witnessing isn't a story of failure. It's a story of courage unfolding in real time. Every time Alex steps on court, she's not just playing tennis. She's carrying the hopes of an entire nation that has never seen one of its own rise as high in the sport. And yet, after every loss, social media fills with criticism, sarcasm, and disappointment. But here's the truth that too many forget. Losing is normal. In tennis, even the greatest of all time, Roger Federer, Rafael Nadal, Novak Djokovic have lost hundreds of matches. Federer alone lost 280 matches in his career, yet nobody questioned his greatness. So why should we question Alex Ayala's? At just 20 years old, Alex Ayala is already doing what no Filipino tennis player, male or female, has ever done before. She's not failing. She's competing at an unprecedented level, losing to players like Victoria Golubic, a former world number 35 and an experienced tour veteran, isn't a downfall. It's part of the process. It's a reflection of where she currently stands in her journey, not where she'll end up. Let's put this in perspective. Tennis is not a sport of constant victory. It's a sport of losses. Every single week, 31 players go home without the trophy. Even world number ones lose almost as often as they win. What separates the greats from the rest isn't their ability to avoid defeat, but how they rise after it. And that's exactly what Alex is doing. Because while some are counting her losses, she's busy rewriting Filipino tennis history. She became the first Filipino in history to break into the WTA Top 100, an achievement that alone would cement her legacy. She became the first Filipino to win a Grand Slam singles main draw match at the 2025 U.S. Open, something no one from our country had ever accomplished. She reached the WTA final at Eastbourne 2025 and even more impressively became the first Filipina to win a WTA title at the Guadalajara 125 Open. She's even defeated multiple former Grand Slam champions in a single tournament, the 2025 Miami Open, a feat that proved she belongs among the best. And yet, after a single loss, some are quick to say she's done. Really, think about it. She's only 20. She's not even at her physical peak. Yet, what we're witnessing is the foundation, not the finale. Tennis. Careers are marathons, not sprints. Every great player, yet from Serena Williams to EGA Swiatek, had moments where they looked vulnerable, uncertain, even lost. But those moments are exactly where champions are built. Because in tennis, it's not just about power and precision. It's about resilience, and that's what Alex Ayala embodies. She plays against opponents who have been on tour for a decade, players who have trained in elite systems funded by multi-million-dollar federations, players who've been molded in the best academy since childhood. Yet here comes A young Filipina carving her own path, holding her ground against the sport's toughest competitors, all while carrying the weight of a nation's expectations. So before you type another negative, comment online before you mock her for losing a match, ask yourself, have you ever seen another Filipino go this far? Have you ever watched one of our own stand across the net from a former grand slam champion and win? Have you ever seen someone make global headlines for putting the Philippines on the tennis map? What Alex is doing is trailblazing. She's fighting battles no one before her has fought, paving a road that future Filipino players will one day walk with pride. Her losses don't define her, they refine her. Each defeat teaches her something new about patience, about composure, about finding strength when it's hardest to believe. Every time she loses, she walks off the court more experienced, more determined, and more dangerous. This is how champions are made. You can't build greatness without enduring heartbreak. You can't inspire a generation without first showing them how to rise from the ground. So instead of tearing her down, imagine if we all chose to lift her up. Imagine if every Filipino who criticized her instead said, "We're proud of you. Keep going." Because let's be honest, she's not just playing for herself. She's carrying our flag, our pride, and our